Hey, what's up, guys? Today, I'll show you a science fiction film about time. Spoiler ahead, watch out and take care. The movie starts when the main character, Tim, introduces and describes his family. Lovely enough, he finds his family normal and caring. Tim says that his mom's fashion inspiration is the Queen. He also says that he plays table tennis often with his father. About his uncle Dismon, Tim says that he is not the most clever person out there, but he is very charming. Last but not least, he introduces his sister Kit Kat, who is just so sweet and the most wonderful thing in the world. Tim also says the different habits that his family always do, including hanging out at the beach, watching a film every Friday, and of course the New Year's Eve celebration. On the eve of the new year, kissing someone will be a sign of good charm in the upcoming year. At the party, a girl wants to tongue massage Tim, but unfortunately, he rejects her. In the next scene, Tim wakes up as his sister Kit Kat approaches. His sister says that his dad is looking for him. Tim goes to his dad and his father starts being kind of serious. Tim sits down as he listens to his father. His father says that it is hard to believe, but all the men in their family have this secret ability to travel back in time. His father also says that to do that, he must clench his fist inside a cupboard and think about the time he wants to go back. Tim clearly thinks this is a joke and does not believe his father. That is why he goes to a cupboard to prove that it is not true, only to find out that it is indeed the truth. As he clenches his fist, he immediately goes back in time, specifically on New Year's Eve. This time, he makes up for his regret not to kiss Polly during the evening. Still mesmerized by the ability, Tim goes back to the cupboard to come back to the present time. With his newfound ability, Tim wants to use it to help himself get a girlfriend. Interestingly, there is a beautiful girl named Charlotte who is staying in their house for summer. He has a crush on Charlotte. That is why he uses his ability in every chance he gets to make Charlotte like him too. On the last night of Charlotte in their house, he confesses his feelings to her, but she rejects her because it is already the last night. Charlotte says that if Tim said it much earlier, maybe there would be a chance. Tim then immediately goes back to asking her much earlier, only to find the same bitter result. Tim's first lesson about his ability is that you cannot make someone fall in love with you by going back in time. It is time for Tim to go out and live his life. He goes to London to pursue his career of being a lawyer. He starts staying in the room of his father's friend. 6 months have passed, but Tim still lives his boring life, just lawyering every day. He could not even find a proper girl to have a relationship with until his friend Jay invites him to this literally blind date. There she met Mary. After the blind date, Tim goes home, only to find out that his father's friend's theater play did not go well because one of the actors forgot the line. He immediately uses the ability to travel back in time to fix it. However, the only problem is that the number of Mary on his cell phone is missing because the play was also the time of their blind date. Tim rushes to that restaurant where he met Mary, but only to find nothing. He is devastated. One day, Tim reads about the Kate Moss exhibition in a newspaper. He remembers that Mary is a big fan of Kate Moss, that is why he goes there and takes a chance that maybe Mary will also go to that exhibition. After hours of waiting, he sees Mary. Tim approaches her, but it becomes awkward because Mary does not recognize him. Tim realizes that their memory together is now non-existent, but eagerly enough, Tim persuades her to come along for a day. Not long after, Tim finds out that she now has a boyfriend named Rupert. To know more about them being together, Tim asks for details on how they met, so that he can go back in time and be there for Mary, even before Rupert meets her. So then Tim goes back in time to go to the party where Mary and Rupert met. He goes there early to make sure that he will be there earlier than Rupert. Joining the party after a little while, there he finds Mary on the balcony. For him, Mary becomes more beautiful every time he meets her for the first time. To persuade her to go on a date with him, he says all of the things he learned that Mary likes. He impresses him by saying he also likes Kate Moss, compliments her face and hair, and before Mary knows it, Tim catches her heart already. They go to a restaurant and talk about their professions. Mary says she's a reader. Tim finds it very interesting and sophisticated. After the date, they spend the night together. It is the beginning of their romantic story. The next scenes are more of their love story and the time they spent together. Tim meets Mary's parents for the first time. Mary is nervous about this. That is why she does all the talking, but eventually, all of it goes well. One day, Tim goes to a theater with his friend Rory. Tim finds out that his first love, Charlotte, is one of the audiences too. At first, he approaches her, but because of repeated failure to have a nice conversation, he gives up and returns in time. However, they still see each other outside of the theater, and Charlotte invites Tim to eat dinner. While talking, Charlotte says that maybe if they go back in time, Charlotte would say yes to Tim's confession. She asks if he could walk him into her condominium. Tim agrees. When they are both outside the room, Charlotte asks him to come inside, but Tim says that there is a more important thing that he needs to do. That is why he runs all over London to go home as soon as possible to say something to his girlfriend, Mary. It is the biggest night of his life. He is going to propose to Mary to marry him. He wakes up her girlfriend gently, asking her if she would marry him while jazz music plays and he is on his knees. Mary says yes and thanks him for proposing something simply because that is what she always wanted. Because of the proposal, Tim brings Mary to Cornwall to introduce her to his parents. While at home, he and his father play table tennis like they used to and have a little chit-chat. As always, he could not beat his father in table tennis. At dinner, Tim stands up and says that he has something important to announce to the family. He says that he and Mary will be married pretty soon, and they are both expecting a baby to come. The whole family is happy and supports their relationship. Back in London, they both plan on what would happen at their wedding. Tim wants it to happen in Cornwall, his home, and nothing else. Mary says that she wants the honeymoon to happen in Bali. Days have passed and it is already their wedding. It happens in a small church in Cornwall. The Il Mondo song plays on the radio while the bride, Mary, goes to the aisle with her red dress on. It is very windy and rainy, but it does not make the wedding less lovely. At the reception, Tim chooses Rory to be his best man, but he finds out that he is not cut out for it during the speech. That is why he goes back in time and instead, he chooses other people to be the best man, but they are all terrible except his dad. Mary gives birth to their first child, Posey. For them, she is the prettiest in the world. Tim narrates that in life, nothing could prepare you for love or having a baby. He says that the first time he held his baby's hands, that is the only time he thought of commitment. And like love, you just have to feel the moment. He also says that time travel is irrelevant at this point in life because every detail now is very delightful. Everything is going well until the family gathering. Kit Kat's boyfriend, Jimmy, rings the house. He tells Tim that he thinks Kit Kat has been in an accident. Tim rushes to the hospital, and it turns out that Kit Kat got into an accident because she's drunk driving. Tim goes back in time to save and escort her to the family gathering safely. Both Mary and Tim are worrying about Kit Kat. Her life is not going so well at the moment. Tim tells his secret ability of time traveling to his sister. He then brings Kit Kat in the past, so that she and his abusive boyfriend Jimmy would have never met. Tim does this because he wants Kit Kat to have a more healthy life away from his boyfriend. The first time Kit Kat sees Jimmy, she punches him and they go back to the present. But the thing with time travel is that it may change things in the present. That is why when they go back to the present, Kit Kat finds it in herself that she is in love with Jay. But the most important change is when Tim finds out that his child is now a boy. The price of saving his sister and giving her a good life is the existence of his daughter. As soon as Tim sees his new child, he goes back in time and asks his father about this thing. His father says that if he goes back to the time before his first baby was born, he will have a different child every time he goes to the present. Knowing that, Tim immediately traveled in time again to undo all the things that he did for his sister. He does it to keep Posey, his daughter, back in his life. In the next scene, Tim finds out that his father has been diagnosed with cancer and is dying. He and Mary go to Cornwall to visit him. Tim and his father talk, and his father says to him the secret formula to happiness is first, to live an ordinary life, living it day by day like a normal person. The second is to live every day again, almost the same. As soon as he realizes this, he learns to be happy and adapt to the everyday mundane things of life. He does not use his ability for unimportant things. He learns how to be happy by just living everyday life, appreciating things he always had. Just after his father's death, he had a very big dilemma. Even though he can always go back in time when he misses his dad, the problem is that Mary wants to have another child. Just about Mary's labor, he goes back in time and spends some time with his dad for the last time. The movie ends with Tim finding genuine happiness, not worrying about every single mistake, not worrying about going back in time, just living his everyday mundane life happily with his family. Tim spends the rest of his life not worrying about the littlest mistakes and goes to appreciate all the little things happening in the world. This is Angry Mustache Movie Channel. Stay safe and enjoy your fun for today.